College students face many stressful events, whether it is tough classes, impossible exams, 18 credit semesters, or being broke financially. Many would be surprised to find out that one of the actions most college students fear throughout their time on and off campus is actually receiving that pink slip on their vehicle windshield. Parking tickets. They are feared by almost everyone, but mostly college students who have enough to worry about already. Where do these tickets come from? These tickets are placed on vehicles by other students who are employed at the Visitor and Parking Services Building on campus. Brandon Nickel, a top-notch ticketer, explains.
I drive the mule around and I give people tickets.
Okay, and do you get some type of excitement when you see a meter that's run out or a car that's parked somewhere that they shouldn't be?
I guess a little bit.
The ticketers don't perform these actions to be rude. They are simply doing the job asked of them by Director of Parking Services, Bob Brecklin. Brecklin explains the most common violation that students execute.
The most common citation is just no permit. And then the second one would be expired meter overtime. And that could be at a meter or it could be at a time space. Some service stalls are timed for 20 minutes.
So there it is, a pink ticket on your car. The fines range from $15 to $50 depending on the type of offense. The ticket can be paid via mail or can be paid personally at the Parking Services Building. 3 desk attendants are always ready and waiting.
Our desk attendants, so we sit here and when tourists come in, we have to instruct them to go in the next room, fill out their prospect card. We also take care of the students who have tickets. They need to come pay them here, they argue them here. We give people temporary passes and sell the regular passes.
These ladies are not evil. The Parking Services Building allows 1 warning for each first-time ticket offender. Amy Verkouterin tells the story.
We give 1 courtesy warning, so if you don't have any prior tickets or anything like that, we will void 1 ticket for you. It's kind of just letting you know that these are the rules, and if you didn't know previously, it's just letting you know.
Not only that, but the university offers free parking on campus for all students and visitors.
Weekends, we allow free parking from noon on Fridays till midnight on Sundays, so that's always a really big advantage because people usually have visitors and things like that, and there's sports events on the weekend, so you can park for free in the normal lots.
What happens when one doesn't pay their ticket on time? Well, the fine increases every 5 business days that pass. For the second-time ticket offenders, the price goes up. It's fair to say that once a student accumulates 3 parking tickets that are unpaid, they are now eligible to have their car towed.
How towing works is if a car has unpaid parking tickets in amount of excess $100, we're allowed to tow the car because that shows that they're not really going to pay their tickets ever. So if I see a balance on my computer, if it's over 100, we tow the car. Usually in a week, I tow anywhere from 3 to 8 cars.
Not just any tow company in Whitewater is allowed to drive on campus and tow a car away. The university works specifically with 1 towing company in the city and for a specific reason, too.
We use Pharaohs as often as possible. Unless they're not available, then we go with another company. The reason we go with Pharaohs is because they offer the lowest consistent price across the board. And that just seemed to be a reasonable thing to do.
The Parking Services Building does not have a contract with Pharaohs, nor do they benefit from having cars towed off campus. They simply are just removing a vehicle from someone who has no intention to pay their parking tickets.
Because the service is provided by the towing company upon our request, then the fee is paid to the towing company. So the university doesn't pay anything out, and so there's no contract required.
When a ticketer like Nickel finds a car that has over $100 in parking ticket fines, he makes his move to get the car towed off campus.
8-4, Mary Brandon. Awesome. Could you call Farrell's out to lot 14? Thank you. Here comes the tow.
This is all preventable. Put money in the meters. Don't park in lots that require a permit that you don't have. Kim Vandehey gives some advice to fellow students.
I would just say if you have a ticket and you have a problem with it, come in and explain it calmly and rationally. If you come in yelling and screaming at us, we're not going to want to help you, just like anyone else is not going to want to help a bully. So if you come in and talk nice to us, I'm sure we'll do our best to try and help the situation.
The expenses seem vigorous, and to a college student they may be. but the university, in comparison to individual towing companies, seems to be much more fair. In downtown Whitewater, or simply anywhere off campus, tickets don't necessarily exist. There isn't a courtesy warning or free parking on the weekends. Plain and simple, your car gets towed. As you can see, Mills has the lowest price, followed by Camacho's, the university's Pick Pharaohs, and the most expensive, Chopin's. Towing isn't always a negative surprise. Sometimes it can be considered a lifesaver. If a car breaks down in the middle of a busy intersection and will not start, a towing company comes to the rescue at your discretion. Owner of Camacho's Towing downtown says it all.
An individual call with a car not being able to start, flat tire, whatever the case is, we find out as much information about the vehicle, the person, and what they may think is the problem. If it's not a tire, or if it just doesn't start and they have had issues with it, they'll tell me a little bit about it.
The act of towing happens almost everywhere, on campus, downtown, and even from off-campus residences. DLK is easily the king when it comes to landlords in Whitewater, owning more than half of properties in the city. Residents must purchase a parking permit for their specific housing lot, which can be done by semester at a cost of $60. If one chooses not to abide by this, they will get towed.
Generally, it's our tenants calling us in some cases. The towing service that works through us also checks lots periodically, and what he will do is he will usually kind of get an idea of which cars he sees frequently that don't have stickers.
So there you have it. If you don't want any of this to happen to you, then fork over some change for the meters, and always be sure that you're abiding by the rules posted on every sign nearby. The Parking Services Building and towing companies aren't out to get people, but they have to do their job. This is Alex Snyder reporting in Whitewater.